Good afternoon. It is March 14th, 2025, and today we had a spike in channel. So the spike happened after yesterday. We had that like wedge bottom right here, one, two, three, or you could look at it at like one, two, three, and we had a bounce. We sold off and formed a double bottom, and that double bottom turned into a spike and channel up. And so if you got in on uh this move right here, you made a lot of money, and I'm annoyed because I anticipated this to be like a triangle. Um, that I thought there was going to be some bearish momentum. I bought it 81, 55, 81, and after this bull doji right here, I closed out, and look at that. So still made money today, but not nearly as much as I would have. Uh, so anyway, here's a look at it on the 17,000 tick chart. I do believe this channel is accurate, but there's probably another way to look at it. But anyway, we've been moving in this range the past few days. Tried to break out to the high side, failed. Tried to break out to the low side and failed. And so, in my opinion, the bull moves have been looking stronger than the bear moves. However, on the daily chart, it's looking very bearish. This is a tight bear channel. Let's see. I don't think you would draw it like that, but let's say it starts here. Yeah, that'll make sense because it's a spiking channel. Yeah, and that looks better too. This is a very tight bear channel, and so it makes sense here that we uh, found some resistance because if you look at it off the lows and drag it up to the highs, that looks like it fits. So that's the weekly chart, or no, that's the daily chart. Here's the weekly chart. So a bear bar with a lot of stem on the bottom. But let's take a look at the 6,500 tick chart. So 5 o'clock comes in about here, if that's when you start, and you do get a higher low. Um, and I was looking at these ranges from yesterday. When we bounced, I drew that. We hit a measured move, sold off. And then when we broke out here, I was like, all right, well, let's look at another measured move. So maybe you take this higher low, but you wouldn't have a lot of room to the highs. I liked after this bull bar. Um, I think when you didn't get a big bear bar, we're making new highs and higher lows. Maybe you buy with a limit order, and that will get you some more room for profit. If you take profits here, everyone else did too, and then it bounces again and sells off at the next measured move. And we then get this news item. So I'm sure there's like some sort of measure move with the news item. Um, but what with the news item, I wasn't convinced. And especially if you look at this 17,000 tick chart, all it looks like is us getting a pullback to the EMA, which is a good buy because there's probably been 12 bars since it touched the EMA, and then you get a second entry long, and this is why I entered earlier. So I'm annoyed I got out of this trade here because I should have been looking at the chart that gave me reason to believe we were going higher. And if you look at that, you just get a bear doji and then bull bar, bull bar, bull bar, bull bar. So anyway, you get this pullback and you get this higher low. So I definitely think it is a reasonable buy right there. Pull the trigger. And if you're looking at the larger time frame, definitely reasonable to take the second entry long. You could be in a bear channel and you could get stopped out, but that's a good buy. And then you get a failed second entry short right after that. So you can consider that. You get a higher low here, a higher low here. If you want to enter those, that's very aggressive. But uh, at this point, you're in a tight ball channel, so you might just buy below this this doji, this doji. Then finally we get a pullback. This looks like this looks like a range, small range. So, you know, I would definitely, even though by max rules you're not going to buy um, this one because it's a higher low than the bear bar, I would consider buying down here, even with a limit order, especially after how strong this bull move was. I say you got to buy near that measured move, and that would have gotten you a lot of money. You can see we get this bear channel right here. So whenever you determine we get the break and the move to a new low, I would consider this one. Break and move to a new low. And then this stuff is a lot of overlap here. So I think you should probably sit that one out. And that's how I saw it today. So again, we're in this range. Keep that in mind. But here's one last look at the day. Spike and channel. So hope everyone has a good weekend. I will be back on Monday.